Chapter 10. Putting the Flames Down. At the dawn of a cold and snowy day, the heroines approach from the challenge ahead. Avoiding traps upon each other, they fight to secure the future of the kind. Putting flames down. February 9th, 2019. 07:30 hours. Equestrian airspace. The Griffith Kingdom border. The clouds were covering most of the sky. Snow was falling gently. What seemed to be another normal wintry day in Equestria was, in fact, something much more. Firefly, leading the flight, had her mind focused on the mission ahead. A very dangerous and risky one. She and her wingmares from Maraud's squadron already knew how the whole operation would proceed in order to be successful. While the Wonderbolts initially planned to assist them, the growing chaos prevented Aces from doing so, and forced them to stay in Carolot to patrol the skies. But Soren promised to send Firefly's team assistance in the form of 2 Pegasi squadrons, and he and Spitfire rounded up in the past few days. The ponies were looking around, gazing at the scenery, while flying towards the mountainous region where the Griffith Kingdom was. The silence among them was broken by Medley. "You know, I'm feeling a bit nervous." Firefly turned her head in behind and said, "If you're scared, it's not too late to go back. But if we do it, we may never have another chance of taking the burning talon down." "No, I won't leave," Medley decided. "I'll stay, and I'll help you the best I can. It's my responsibility as the squadron's flyer. It's just that..." Firefly opposed her, seemed a little worried too. "I know how you feel. And as much as I'm having some doubts too, I know we're the only ponies who could do it. Let's fight for our friends and their futures. If the Griffins win..." "They won't win," Derby interrupted. "Not as long as we're flying in the skies." "Okay, gals, no need to start arguments," Firefly intervened. The Pegasi instantly stopped talking and looked at her. She, of them all, probably had best reason to fight against her feathered foes, yet acted strangely calm. The pink Pegasus noticed it. "This mission is going to be really tough, so we should conserve our energy and save it for the real action," she explained. "Besides, we won't be alone, in a sense." At this point, Soren contacted Firefly. All Pegasi switched their communicators onto Hero 2. He was excusing them for not being able to join them in the flight, but stated that the friendly squadrons were inbound to their positions. "Cut them as soon as you get held them on radars. Call sites, Racer, Burner." "Roger that, Soren. We'll do that the instant they show up," Firefly responded. She asked if they would actually be good enough to assist them. The Wonderbolt missed her worries by stating that being hoofpicked by one of Equestria's finest aces had to mean something. Rainbow Dash was slightly interested in it and wanted to ask him for details about the equipment theater, but just then Lightning Bolt exclaimed, "I got several contacts on radar approaching from east and west." "Probably them." Firefly tested her communicators frequently to reach their newly arrived forces. "Racer and Butterflies, this is Flash from Maraud's Squadron." "Roger, Flash," the voice of an adolescent cult replied. "This is Tornado Swirl. Call sign Burner 1. Good to be flying with you." "Overdrive. Call sign Racer 1 here. What he said." A second voice belonged to a mare. Both teams approached Firefly's squadron and quickly got to know each other. Tornado Squadron consisted of him and 4 other Pegasi, while Overdrive had 3 other additional wing mares. The ponies took a closer look at the team layers. Tornado Swirl had a light green coat and dark blue mane, while Overdrive was a brighter coat and a orange mane, similar to their size. Rainbow Dash was still curious as to how they were chosen. So he got closer to Tornado and asked him, "So, the Wonderbolts picked you to help us?" "That's right," Tornado Squirrel replied. "Our main purpose is to focus any forces on us, rather than you. We'll keep them busy, while you take the facilities down." "Wow, you guys must be pretty good," said Cockkicker. "We have some talents, but we're nowhere as good and famous as you gals," Overdrive stated. One of our wingmares had a different opinion, though. "Why you feeding so modest, Overdrive? Just because they're good doesn't mean we can't be too." "Don't bring about it, C-Spot. Overconfidence is your greatest weakness," Racer slightly pointed out. "What's that?" Firefly decided to cool the situation down. "C-Spot, only in a pony fic." Saying it's not a good time for friendly banter. Lightning Bolt was amazed how she could remain so cool and collected. Soren's voice sounded in every pony's communicators again. "Now this is it's about time to race begin. Remember, let's fly either below 1,200 or above 12,000 feet. Otherwise, the raiders will pick you up. You'll need to infiltrate their airspace and proceed to preparing talent. Once there, take down the jamming facilities. Contact as soon as that's done. Everything clear? All flyers acknowledged the information. Soren ended the conversation, wishing every pony good luck. Stopping in midair and trying to figure out the best way to reach the Griffin's superweapon, Rainbow asked me a suggestion. Why don't we just fly in 2 groups, one low and one high? The idea seemed reasonable and simple. Flying in a group as large as 3 squadrons together would make it harder to maneuver in tight areas. After a brief discussion, all ponies agreed to Rainbow's proposition. She chose Cloudkicker and Derpy to assist her on the high altitude, while Firefly picked 3 other Pegasi to aid and lead her close to the ground. The Racer Flight joined up with the Dash, and while the Burner team decided to follow Firefly. So nobody has 16 for us. Like the county sign relief. I feel more confident now. We can do it. Just stick to the objective and avoid your detector nets, Lightning Bolt reminded. It's a CG area. They're coming on their own radars. Stay clear of them. Relax, Tornado Swirl remarked. It should be a piece of cake for Equestria's top flying team, right? Hear about the sea, Rainbow noted. I guess we could get started, right, Flash? Affirmative. Commencing Operation Fire Extinguisher, she announced, but mentally laughed quietly again. Our ponies looked at her confused. Sorry, just can't resist, she said. Cloudkicker jokingly added that when another code name for an operation will be chosen, they should consult the Wonder Balls before it was officially adopted. Every pony chuckled on this statement, but soon they gathered their thoughts and flew toward the mountains, leaving Equestria and entering the enemy's home territory. 2100 hours. The Griffin Kingdom airspace, en route to Burning Talon. Having split the 2 teams, the Pegasi entered the area under a large radar coverage. Remembering Soren's advice, Firefly's squad flew below 1,200 feet, an altitude so low they had to maneuver carefully in order not to crash into numerous mountains nowhere in the region. The pink flyer, Tornado Swirl, were leading the way, with other ponies following them closely. There were moments when they had to break away in an emergency, so they wouldn't run into a detector net. But generally, there wasn't much complication on their end. Rainbow's group had an easier task. Since the majority of the detector nets were limited to 11,500 feet, however, one or 2 ponies had to descend a bit, as they weren't used to atmospheric pressure and cold at such high altitude. One such descent, when one of the Pegasi from a Racer Squadron went lower due to his wings becoming numb, would have ended with them being discovered. Luckily, Cloudkicker managed to put him back in formation. It took the flyers about 2 hours of evasive flights, searching for a way to pass the detector nets to finally clear the area. They suddenly started hearing static in their communicators, indicating they were approaching a sector under strong jamming effects. Their radars managed to remain operational, so when Medley and C-Spot returned for scouting to confirm the facility's locations, it turned out some of the Griffins actually were stationed nearby. While that information didn't make the mission any easier, the ponies were prepared for that by counting their enemies as a factor for their operation. Firefly went on to distribute the squadrons. All Pegasi stopped in midair and approached her. Okay, here's the deal, she began. As expected, the Feather Fellows are lying in wait for us. Let's not allow that to stop our advance. There are 4 facilities that emit those signals, which are making the communications difficult. We need to destroy each of them. Additionally, they're all protected by anti-air turrets. Yeah, I can tell that's not going to be easy, Medley deduced. Not worried. As long as we work together, we'll succeed, Rainbow spoke her mind. Firefly down for a few details. As discussed before, Racer and Bird teams will cover us and attempt to keep the Griffins busy, while we'll be preparing to take the facilities down. You can count on us, Tornado Swirl assured. Us too, Overdrive added. The other Pegasi seemed ready to begin. Rainbow, Derpy, Cloudkicker, and Fluttershy were told to destroy the facilities located to the east, while Firefly's group, consisting of Medley Lightning Bolt, would attack those on the left flank. Every pony agreed to switch the communicators off to prevent static, ready to begin the flight. Tornado Swirl and Overdrive rushed forward, their wingmates behind them in the formation. Rod's squadron flew in 2 separate directions and began the assaults. Griffins were indeed ready for the ponies. Scythe, leader of the Down Squadron, and Echo, who led the Colt Squadron, spotted flyers approaching from the mountains. Also, this would have visitor Scythe, Echo commented. Then let's get the bubble out of the outcome. Scythe contacted the operators of Burning Talon, who were waiting with hands. He ordered. His companions, Razors and Greyback, especially Greyback, who volunteered for this mission, were getting impatient. They still remember Vulture's demise at Cloudsdale, and swore to avenge him. As soon as Racer and burner teams entered the airspace, they were greeted by the Burning Talon's laser, but managed to break to the right side, avoiding it. The Griffins took flight, initially completely unaware of Firefly's team. Having split away, Racer flight engaged the Talon squadron and managed to put up a good fight, while Tornado's teams fought against Echoes. He himself was suspecting that this attack was more likely to cover for a big air operation, but no point had any intentions of spilling the beans. As the Pegasi flyers were keeping them involved, Rod's flight proceeded with relentless attacks on the facilities. While they were quite resistant, the combined efforts soon brought out the results when lightning bolts inflicted a crippling blow to one of the buildings. Moments later, Medley and Firefly performed a successful attack on another facility, rendering it useless. Echo suddenly noticed that the flight-powered race squadron was clearly evasive, not meant for dogfighting. He tried to send one of his wingmates to investigate the area. Tornado Swirl took him down with a swift blow and remarked to a smirk. Once again, you underestimate the pony's potential. Soon you'll be in a world of hurt. The Burning Talon fired again, and while the ponies managed to dodge the shot, the Griffins found an opening and attacked it ferociously. One of the flyers from Burning Team suffered a lethal blow from Echo. Tornado Swirl confronted him personally and were locked in combat. Overdrive's team managed to put up an effective resistance to Talon's squadron and took advantage of Greyback's impatience and anger. While Scythe tried to keep him under control, all of his orders fell on deaf ears. The eyes of the feathered fighter were focused only on killing the enemies before him, and he was driven into a sort of berserk rage. Overdrive and Seashot's fought, managed to overpower him, but he had no intention of giving up. Scythe ordered him to retreat from the area, to which Greyback remained ignorant. This caused confusion among the Griffin race and gave the ponies a sort of advantage. Meanwhile, Firefly's team just destroyed the third facility by using a clever trick. When Fireside fired towards a turret to make focused fire on her, Lightning Bolt and Medley attacked it from behind. The resulting force of the blow sent turrets of rubble flying straight out to the facility, rendering it vulnerable as a combined assault. Their communications were almost back online, so Firefly tried to contact Rainbow Dash, asking for their progress. Rainbow answered the call she was about to smash into the last building, but managed to pitch up. It was Cloudkicker and Derpy's turn to bring it down, while the Blue Pegasus kept the turrets focused on her. Thanks to her superior agility, no bullet managed to scratch her body. Soon the last facility collapsed. The Burning Talon was practically defenseless now, although it still remained operational and just fired another laser, forcing Rod's squadron to dodge. When Rainbow reported about the destruction of the last jamming facility, Firefly praised the team in order to regrouping. Then, when all 7 Pegasi met, as he contacted Soren, was just more than pleased when he heard. Job done, Soren. The facilities are history. We're off the Burning Talon now. Good job, Mirage. Keep it up, the stallion responded before speaking to Rainbow. Des, now's your time to shine. Show us what you could do. We're fine cover. Just focus on doing the sonic ring boom, Derpy assured her. Consider it done, the Blue Pegasus responded. Echo noticed that this little Pegasi approaching the combat zone. Greyback broke completely out of Scythe's control and flew towards the Mirage flyers. They noticed that he lost his mind and was ignorant to anything else around him. Lightning Bolt went to clash with him, while the others joined Razor and Burner teams in fighting. You! Greyback yelled. A white Pegasus! You're responsible for Vulture's death! I'll make you pay with your own life! Prepare to meet your maker! How sad. Lightning Bolt shook her head. You failed to see his death was his own doing. His brass thinking and carelessness led to his downfall. Now you want to share his fate? No, I will kill you, or die trying, for the glory of the kingdom. With that primal yell, he charged head on towards the white Pegasus. She knew he was desperate for revenge, but had no intention of going easy on her attacker. While Lightning was busy fighting Greyback, Echo noticed Rainbow Dash flying higher than anyone else, almost disappearing among the clouds. He tried to contact the Burning Talon operators. BT crew, you saw that Blue Pegasus. What's he up to? We're not sure, sir, but it seems like he's going to attack, the operator responded. She insane? Burning Talon's impregnable. Besides, she keeps extending. She's going to have to choke herself to death due to lack of air. One of Echo's companions remarked. Let's just leave her alone. Swat those annoying flies for the sky. Goat 13! But Echo remained careful, saying, I witnessed firsthand that ponies are more dangerous and are dissipated. Goat 6. I cannot allow more losses on our side. I'll try to intercept her. While the Griffin tried to protest, Echo didn't change his mind. He ordered his squadron to carry on engaging the Pegasi and flew after Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy noticed it and tried to inform her. Just then, another laser fired from Burning Talon. She was forced to quickly evade the attack. She found herself face to face with Razor. Initially, she couldn't bring herself to budge. Her opponent scoffed at her. What's the matter? Are you scared? You should have stayed in the Celestia, like your enemy friends. How did you? Fluttershy babbled. That's right. The two griffins who were searching your carcass were sent by me. I told the general that the elements of harmony would have been perfect gifts for his victory ceremony. It seems like I'll have to scratch their crayons. Anger started to take Fluttershy over again, when she remembered what the griffins did to Angel and her friends, wounding them and not sparing anyone. She quickly turned to Medley and asked her to inform Rainbow about Echo's attempt to intercept her. Was the Green Pegasus acknowledged? Then Fluttershy's sight became focused solely on Ranger. I'll never forgive you for that. I used to think this war was nothing but a huge mistake, and I still do. But it's a mistake you Griffins did by starting it! Razor seemed completely unmoved and prepared for combat. In the meantime, Medley contacted Rainbow Jazz. It was very high enough that she couldn't see the blue flyer, even with her great sight. Echo was missing too, and Mayor Felix's. Rainbow, come in. Echo went after you. He's trying to stop you. Well, it was a little hard to decipher her at first. Medley clearly heard Rainbow saying, Little try. I'll grave him into the Burning Talon if he gets in my way. Your girl's just worried about not getting shot down by other bandits. I've got this one. But Rainbow, it's very dangerous. Medley tried to make her realize the situation. Hey kid, Danger is my middle name, the Blue Pegasus replied smugly. Just trust me, I know what I'm doing. You gotta be more careful, so you'll get to show front seats. Medley had no answer to that. She had to avoid attacks from the Griffins too. She decided to put her faith in Rainbow and wished her good luck. Dared to return to aid Overdrive and to rest on Mirage's flight, confronting Echo's squadron. The sole problem was the small laser turrets around a super weapon, which they completely forgot to shut down. Tornado Squirrel Squadron said that they will take care of it, and he broke away for combat. Sai saw it and went after them with his two wingmates, but not before looking behind himself and noticed Greenback engaging Lightning Bolt. The look on the Talon Leader's face showed clear signs of concern, cursing the angry Griffin's misfortune and recklessness. Your obsession with that Pegasus is going to get you killed. 1,200, 1,700 hours. Burning down airspace. Rainbow Dash took a deep breath and proceeded to swoop down towards the main tower, where the laser was mounted. She was at an extremely high altitude of 50,000 feet, and started flying down at a fast rate, aware that one of her enemies will try to stop her from reaching her goal. Rainbow only picked up speed and flapped her wings as strong and fast as he could. Decreasing speed made the wind blow straight into Rainbow's eyes, almost producing tears. She didn't allow that to slow her down. After blinking twice and clearing the eyes, she carried on descending, gaining more and more velocity every second. When the Blue Pegasus was about 30,000 feet away from her target, radar picked up a single contact in front of her. Echo. So he's serious about trying to stop me, Rainbow thought. Tough luck for him. I have no intention of stopping. I've got a job to do, and I will do it. You hear that? That's the sound of loyalty playing. Echo noticed Rainbow flying down at a screaming fast rate. He knew it would be dangerous for him, but he decided to stand in her way and take the full force of the blow himself. Every soldier with a bit of patriotism in his heart would have done the same. Unflinched, he saw Rainbow getting closer, but he remained on her path. While Rainbow could have avoided him, this would decrease her speed greatly, and not give her enough time to regain it before the sonic rainbow. She decided to bet everything against the odds and flew down even faster. Seems like Echo and Rainbow stared at each other's eyes as the Blue Pegasus was approaching her prey. But suddenly the Griffin candidate was attacked and knocked away by someone. Rainbow was surprised and slowed down a little bit. Then she looked to her left, so she saw the one who attacked Echo. The mysterious blue stallion with the silver mane saved the Mirage Squadron over glacial plains. The very same, and he was right beside her. It's you! Mobius! Rainbow exclaimed. He didn't respond. His smile and nod confirmed it. It's like he was trying to say, good job. Fly toward victory. Rainbow returned to him with a smirk and increased her speed again. Echo regained his senses and saw Mobius too. There was no way he could have forgotten him. When he fought in the past, the Blue Stallion was being the one who decimated most of his seemingly invincible squadron all by himself. But the Griffin had to worry about something else. Rainbow Dash was about 10,000 feet above the Burning Talon and pierced through the clouds. She reached her top speed, and a few seconds later, a huge sonic boom, surrounded by a beautiful rainbow, graced the skies. The ponies and Griffins stopped fighting and saw this phenomenon. Rainbow Dash targeted at the very top of the main tower, and a loud yell broke through the walls of immense force, creating an opening. The Pegasus started cheering, with Racer and Burning Flights, as well as Firefly staring in amazement. Holy turnips, it's true! The Sonic Rainbow! Overdrive made several backflips out of air in excitement. Wow! Tornado was awestruck. He did not even notice the burning talon was about to fire another laser. Firefly grabbed him and managed to move him out of the way. Unfortunately, Greyback, whose only desire was to kill Lightning Bolt, failed to notice anything. He managed to wound the White Pegasus in the left wing and was about to strike again. She tried to dodge, hearing her radar signaling incoming impact from the laser. Playing everything on the line, Lightning performed a maneuver that seemed like she was about to attack Greyback, but descended at the last moment. Operators of the Burning Talon were surprised by Rainbow's successful breeze. The force of the impact rendered the main laser inoperable. When it launched, Greyback was directly in the line of fire. The Lightning Bolt tried to warn him. He ultimately saw what was happening. He noticed it too late. The laser blasted him with full power. When ear-piercing scream, Greyback suffered lethal burns. His body was turned to charcoal and began plummeting down to earth. Lightning watched it in horror. He never wished such fate for anyone, even the worst of scum. Before he died, he tried to reach his claw out, as if trying to grab onto something. But then, he shared Vulture's fate. Carelessness became the death of them both. Tornado Swirl went overdrive went to recover the wounded Lightning Bolt. To their relief, the wing wasn't badly damaged. Firefly called her wing mares and ordered them to follow Rainbow Dash inside the Burning Talon. They were going to bring the generators down. Razor, enraged by Greyback's demise, tried to stop them, but Cloudkicker got in his way, preventing the Feathered Soldier from getting closer. Fluttershy initially wanted to assist, but the Purple Pegasus said she'll be fine. When Lightning Bolt contacted Soren and was about to get a Sonic Rainbow being performed successfully, he couldn't express his gratitude. Gil was more than surprised. White Pegasus transferred the locations of the 3 generators to the 5 Pegasi, flew inside the super weapons as he can destroy them. 1240 hours. Burning Talon. Once inside, the Mirage Squadrons went to look for Rainbow. She was found below the rubble, and despite several bruises, she could still fly. Firefly took a glance around, noticing a large amount of free space, indicating this super weapon could be something more than just a military facility, a base of some sort. After marking the locations of the 3 generators, Firefly and Medley went to destroy the one located in the east sector, while Rainbow Dash and Derpy flew to the southern one. Fluttershy was left alone. Her mind was still swarming with what Razor told her. She tried to focus and bring herself to shut down the generator. As she was checking it for any possible leaks or weak spots, the wall behind her suddenly collapsed. Someone through it and crashed it in the side of the room. To Fluttershy's horror, it was Cloudkicker. Razor managed to overpower, and he too flew inside. He was towering above the Purple Pegasus. He prepared to strike the killing blow. Cloudkicker tried to stand up, but was utterly at his mercy. Fluttershy didn't hesitate. Let her go! She immediately flew into Razor and sent him away with a kick. She then turned around and said to our friend, Cloudkicker, are you okay? I'm fine. A little dazed. He took me by surprise. She answered. The Griffin was just recovered from Fluttershy's attack. Oh, do people hear that? If you listen closely, you can hear every single person who's ever written Fluttershy poorly, and that includes some writers of the show, that are gasping in utter horror and shock that their little sweet doll has a backbone. Their whole world has just been obliterated. It's like they're utterly shocked that Fluttershy could do something more than just go eep and just be a little doll for them to abuse. It's glorious. Listen to that gasping and sounds of, oh my god, I can't believe it. Shock, isn't it? I mean, I'm not shocked. I know Fluttershy could do that. But then again, I don't see Fluttershy as just a doll. Fluttershy could stand for it. See Razor engaged in combat. Gentle Flyer decided to find her own will for the first time during this war. In the meantime, the other Pegasi were slowly making progress and eliminating any resistance they encountered on their way to the generators. Eventually, several minutes of searching, the Flyers found their targets and, using powerful and precise blows, rendered them useless. An alarm suddenly flared, and then a computer-generated voice began stating that the base was experiencing an overload. An explosion might occur, so the situation not be stabilized. Firefly attempted to contact Fluttershy and ask her if she destroyed the last generator, but there was no reply. Yellow Pegasus was too occupied with fighting Razor, rather avoiding his attacks. She still couldn't bring herself to harm anyone, even if it was her enemy, who did so many evil things. Razor openly mocked her. You keep flooding like that and you'll die really soon. A battlefield is no place for wimps. Fluttershy knew he was right, but she still believed there could have been another way. She tried to reason with the Griffin, telling him what happened to Greyback, but he already knew. The idiot deserved it. A soldier is always aware of what's happening around him. He was a disgrace to our military, and God was coming to him. These words shocked Fluttershy, but Razor had no respect for the lives of others, even his own wingmate. Clockkicker managed to stand up and muttered, "You've got some nerve saying that, coward!" The statement infuriated Razor. Ignoring Fluttershy, he dived at the purple Pegasus and stabbed her aside with his claws. Though the vest protected her slightly, Clockkicker screamed, feeling immense pain. Fluttershy watched this, terrified, but she started to realize that the war knew no mercy. Angered, she flew toward Razor and knocked him away from Clockkicker. Despite the attack, the wound wasn't serious. Both Pegasi decided to support each other, and through focused assaults, they slowly managed to overcome Razor's initial advantage. Cloud answered Firefly's call and told her about what was happening, to which the mayor replied they were coming back to help them. Razor seemed to be in a dire situation. Outnumbered, without hope for support for himself. Nevertheless, he was not willing to surrender. Extending his wings, he charged at Clockkicker again, but she was prepared. Before he managed to strike her, the purple Pegasus suddenly dived down, putting her whole strength into it, and sent the Griffin towards the ceiling with a strong kick. He was coming at Fluttershy. She suddenly remembered the first mission. The situation was exactly the same. But this time, the Yellow Pegasus had her mind set on helping others. "I will not run. You'll not hurt my friends again," she screamed. Seemingly avoiding Razor first by flying up, Fluttershy suddenly kicked it downward with her rear legs, sending it to crash into the third generator. Razor seemed to lessen the impact, but failed. Upon contact, he began to swing away before finally collapsing into the feathered soldier. Razor attempted to remove it, carry on fighting. It was pinned down by the heavy construction. A series of tremors shook the burning talon. It was falling apart. The rest of her squad returned. They all flew out through the opening made by Rainbow. Now, a few minutes after the ponies had managed to escape, several gigantic explosions ended the existence of the Griffin's superweapon. All fighting stopped. The half-eagle lion creatures were staring blankly at the smoky remains of their once powerful trump card. Echo ordered all of them to retreat from the area. Scythe tried to reach Razor. However, he never responded. Grieving upon the loss of the majority of his squadron, he followed Echo. The opponents rejoiced on their victory. Raindust immediately went to reach Sora and reported to him, not looking to the clouds above her, noticed Mobius flying away. It was thanks to him that this operation was successful. He appeared and disappeared like a ghost. "Soren, this is Rainbow Dash. Burning talents destroyed. Mission accomplished." As he could hear loud cheering and communicator, the rest of the ponies heard it too. His enormous bliss was well deserved. They had managed to succeed, despite huge odds. Once more, it was proved that by teamwork and support, they could achieve everything. Tornado Swirl stated that one of his flyers fell in fighting with Colt's squadron, while Overdrive checked on her friends, noticing that some of them were mightily wounded. Both Lightning Bolt and Cloudkicker were hurt, though they rejoiced seeing each other alive. The Purple Pegasus tried to thank Fluttershy for saving her life, but the Yellow Pegasus didn't say a word. Her eyes were gazing at a giant cloud of smoke. Firefly ordered all ponies to return to Canterlot in order to attend to the wounded. Tornado Swirl promised to give a detailed report to the Princess Celestia and Luna about the operation, and Maraud's squadron parted ways with Racer and Burner teams. Medley and Derpy literally dragged Fluttershy with them, as he seemed completely unaware of what was happening. They could only hear her babbling to herself. What have I done? What have I done? Rainbow was worried about her. What could have been the cause? 15:4200 hours. Carolot, where Squadron's base. Roz's return to Carolot was greeted with a huge celebration. The streets of the capital were literally covered in flowers. An orchestra, I didn't say the word today, was set to perform, and all ponies were cheering for the new heroines. But when the royal sisters arrived, they announced an actual ceremony will be held later, and asked the Pegasi to join with them. While slightly disappointed, the crowd left the castle grounds and spread around the city. Once the squadron's base, Fluttershy left the other ponies and went to mission control, demanding to be alone. Every pony was surprised by that statement, especially Rainbow Dash. She knew Fluttershy the best of them all. Seeing her good friend leave like this made the Blue Pegasus feel uncertain. So he decided to go after Fluttershy. Other Pegasi stayed in the room to discuss matters with Celestia and Luna. When Rainbow entered her mission control, she found Fluttershy sobbing in the corner of her room. As he was approaching her, the yellow Pegasus whimpered, "Leave me, Rainbow. I want to be alone." "No, I'm not leaving you like this," the Rainbow Mane Pegasus replied. "Rainbow, please, listen to me for once," Fluttershy asked her with desperation. "I'm not leaving you until you tell me what's wrong." Not wanting to say anything at first, the sad filly readily opened up and told Rainbow Dash about Razor trying to kick her. Now she stopped her from doing so. Explanation pressed a light on this. Fluttershy mentioned how she sent Razor plummeting towards the generator, making it fall on him. Even if he didn't die from that, the explosion that occurred later was certainly fatal for him. Tears were streaming from Fluttershy's cheeks as he carried on, and her voice was getting more squeaky, about to break completely. "Does he understand, Rainbow Dash? I killed him. I killed a sentient being. Me." Covering her face with pillows, Fluttershy was crying her eyes out. While she could grasp how terrible Fluttershy must have been feeling, Rainbow Dash tried to remind her of Razor's actions. "He was your enemy. His death was more than certain. Besides, was it your fault? You saved Clicker's life." Fluttershy looked at her best friend, biting her lips and sobbing uncontrollably. But it was my fault. He died because of me. I don't know. This is too much for me. I can't go on like this." "Fluttershy!" The sun rising and falling in Rainbow's voice surprised and scared the little Pegasus. Dash excused for that outburst and placed her arms on Fluttershy's shoulders, looking into her green eyes, full of tears. The Blue Pegasus wiped him away and said quietly, "You may not believe me, but I understand how you feel. Every pony feels horrible when they do something awful for the first time, especially to kill someone. Fortunately, killing is one of those things that become easier to bear the more you do it. During the war, all pony kinds' instincts may surface. It's important not to let them take you over." Pausing briefly to take a breath, she asked Fluttershy, "Listen, have you done that intentionally?" "No, I would never kill any pony on purpose," Fluttershy exclaimed with a high-pitched voice. "I did it because Razor was trying to kill Cloudkicker." "That's right," Rainbow confirmed. "It wasn't your fault then. You've done something wrong, so don't blame yourself." Suddenly, the rest of our squadron entered the room. They heard everything. "What Rainbow says is true," said Lightning Bolt, now having her wounded wing wrapped in bandages. "You can't blame yourself for every single death in this conflict." "Losses in war are inevitable for both sides," Firefly spoke. "If you keep thinking you're responsible for this, you'll eventually go mad." "Don't kick yourself. You did what was necessary to save Cloud's life," Derpy added. The purple Pegasus approached misty-eyed Philly and said gently, "I'll never forget this, Fluttershy. You have my thanks. If it weren't for you, I would have been dead." Hearing all of her friends praising her, rather than turning their backs on her for killing someone, made Fluttershy confused. Rainbow noticed and stood on her rear legs, using the wings to lift herself up, and then extended her arms before the timid Pegasus and asked with a warm smile, "Hey, Fluttershy, want a hug?" This was too much for her. Fluttershy cuddled to Rainbow and wept loudly. She couldn't hold her emotions anymore. Crying and sobbing, she kept mumbling, "Sorry, please forgive me," as the Blue Pegasus hugged her tightly, letting Fluttershy's tears fall into her beautiful mane. Firefly didn't know what to do, but the others had sympathized with the Yellow Pegasus. They approached, cuddled, and nuzzled her too. To Firefly's surprise, Fluttershy was slowly calming herself down, though she still seemed unusable. Realizing it would be the best thing to do, the Pink Pegasus came to her as well. Just then the door slowly opened and the whole room was instantly lit up. Princesses Celestia and Luna were inside, though not alone. Twilight Sparkle, Pinkie Pie, Rarity, and Applejack were here too. The Rod's flyers bowed before the royal sisters. As they came closer to the crying Fluttershy, Luna embraced her with wings. "Try it here, Fluttershy. Put your worries aside. Razor perished indeed, but you are not cause of his death." Princess Celestia told the ponies about the report the tornado swirl sent to her. Apparently, the super weapons emergency system blocked all entrances and exits out of the building soon after Mirage Squadron left it, preventing anyone from escaping. Then the explosions encouraged Siren to burning Talon due to the core overheating, claiming the lives of those who were trapped. When the Royal Sisters left, Twilight and Applejack also added that Fluttershy's act of saving Cloudkicker was one of great courage. Despite the initial confusion, the Yellow Pegasus tried to smile again, much to everyone's joy. Firefly decided to leave the room to let Fluttershy have some time with her friends, and mentioned the other Pegasi besides Rainbow, to come with her. But then the pink mare approached her friend and spoke to her with a shaking, grateful voice. Please stay with us, Firefly. After all, we are friends. The pink Pegasus wasn't expecting these words, but she had no reason to decline Firefly's pleas. As she looked at her grin, and the two Pegasi embraced warmly. Their ponies looking at them with soft smiles. Medley noticed tears were forming in Firefly's eyes. Lost, are you crying? Don't be silly. I just have something in my eyes, that's all, Firefly exclaimed. Okay, but that's what you say. Before the pink Pegasus could respond, Derpy called all ponies to the room with the window and saw a lot of citizens of the street, celebrating and rejoicing. You must be having a party. So we go down and join them? The great Pegasus asked. They were about to join the celebration, but Rainbow suddenly said, I got a better idea. We'll make a party of our own. Hey, Pinks! You still have that can of yours? All of a sudden, Pinkie Pie drew out a large blue can, much to every pony's surprise. Rainbow Dash approached Firefly, saluted her before spoke in a formal tone. Flash! Requesting permission to party! The pink Pegasus chuckled visibly, but returned to salute, granting permission. Derpy hoped that some muffins and other sweet snacks would be a nice addition, and Pinkie lamented she forgot to bake cupcakes. Just then, someone knocked at the door. You cold? It was Spike. By Twilight's request, he managed to gather some cookies and a giant cake with strawberry frosting for the super cute corner. Wow, Spike, you did something right for once. Oh, thank you. Can I have my seeds with Applejack? No. Darn it! The Wonderbolts came along, having helped the young dragon with supporting and transporting the sweets. They wanted to congratulate Maraud's squadron for destroying the marine talent. Spitfire turned to Rainbow. Princess Celestia and Lil will be holding a festival ceremony to celebrate your victory at Carolina Castle grounds by sunset. Interested in coming? Rainbow Dash thought about this for a moment and replied, though her answer was surprising. Sure, but we'll come later, if you don't mind. Okay then, see you there, and have fun. When the Wonderbolts left, Rainbow looked at her friends. They were staring at her in disbelief. Did she just turn down the invitation for Riles? Elsa came closer. You're sure, Rainbow? Yes, I am. Who knows we'll have another chance to celebrate like this, and, to be honest, I miss you gals. We got a lot of things to catch up on, since we had time. Twilight understood the message and proposed to start the party. Pinkie pressed the button on her can, covering the room with balloons, streamers, and other decorations. When Applejack told these interested about a successful recapture of Tringham made a few hours ago, Rarity instantly went to sew and stitch Cloudkicker's vest. Soon, it was as good as new. Pinkie provided the entertainment with various tricks and tunes. Time passed slowly. The ponies finally reunited, having fun. As someone was saying, Rainbow Dash decided to fly to the castle. Twilight, Pinkie, and Applejack were ready to go with her, so were fellow Pegasi. Before they left, Firefly approached Rainbow Dash and went to her. Thank you. 1956 hours. Carolina Castle grounds. The citizens of Carolina and other ponies who had been relocated here in the past few days were exclaiming their happiness about the hard-earned victory. As Firefly laid her wings on a ceremony of flight over the streets, hearing their orchestra accompany it, every pony who saw them was cheering for the Pegasi who made it seemingly impossible happen. Twilight and her friends were following the flyers closely until all of them reached castle grounds. Greeted personally by the Wonderbolts of Royal Sisters, the Rod Squadron, with their companions from Racer Burner teams, were also present, received a great amount of honors from all who came to the ceremony. But Celestia and Luna reminded their subjects that the war hadn't ended yet. The enemy was still capable of fighting. Distantly, Firefly stated, Hate to say it, but this war's just only begun. The Griffin suffered heavy casualties begun to reorganize. What's the same happened to us? We need to have some enemies to lack. Friends and the power of victory. It unites us in our darkest hours. We want to give word to you, the ponies of Equestria. As long as the Mirage Squadron will soar through the skies, this land will not fall. Long live Celestia. Long live Luna. Long live Equestria! Earth ponies, Pegasi, unicorns, and stallions and mares, colts and fillies, were all gathered at the grounds. All of them responded with loud cheers, treated like great heroines. Firefly, Rainbow Dash, Cloudkicker, Fluttershy, Lightning Derpy, and Bentley flew beside the Wonderbolts in a celebratory flight over the castle, and thanked the ponies for their support. Although the conflict was far from over, seen on this day, the stars were shining brighter than ever before on Poenkine.